Hello, good morning and good evening from all the different time zones tuning in to our webinar today. It's going to be a particularly interesting one where we combine data from Jessica Secrets regarding consumer shopping habits in China and data from us at ForwardKeys with our China market expert Nancy Day reporting on the hottest travel destinations in China this summer. Please welcome Mirko and Nancy to the stage. Just want to let you know that before I say the hellos to Mirko and Nancy, that they may appear a little bit blurry as we are suddenly expecting some technical glitches that we did not plan for today. So we apologize in advance for the blurriness. We hope the sound quality stays professional and perfect throughout, and we hope you enjoy this webinar. So hello, Nancy, and hello, Mirko. Welcome to today's webinar with ForwardKeys. Nancy, I believe you're going to start the presentation today and explaining what are the current trends in China regarding air travel. So please take over the stage.
Thanks, Jenna. Hello, everyone. I'm Nancy, insights expert at ForwardKeys. So today I will first share Chinese domestic travel trend. Okay, you might be already familiar with ForwardKeys, but here's a brief reminder of who we are and what we do. So we are a B2B travel analytics company specialized in air travel. We use big data to help our customers understand travel trend and demand in real time. So in today's presentation, we will use two key data sets. That's issued air tickets and seat capacity. We will first take a look at Chinese domestic travel this summer and see how it will perform in the upcoming holidays. Then we will put a special focus on Hainan and Macau, and then closely look at passenger profiles. To start with, I would like to have an overview of summer travel. Chinese domestic air travel market had been heating up in the past 2 months. As you can see with the blue line for travel during June and July this year, versus the orange line for same period in 2020 and yellow line for 2019, Chinese domestic travel surged 42% over last summer and increased 3.6% when comparing to 2019. And this summer, the top 5 destinations are Beijing, Shanghai, Chengdu, Xi'an, and Chongqing. They all achieved more visitor numbers than last year and even surpassed pre-pandemic level in 2019. Looking back to 2020, the recovery accelerated in summer when interprovincial group tours resumed and unlimited flight pass launched by airlines from July. Low visitor numbers to Beijing, as you can see here for last summer, was because of the resurgence in COVID-19 cases around last July. So among top 15 destinations, Hainan has seen the strongest growth, increasing 29% compared to 2019. The number of visitors to Hunan, Sichuan, and Chongqing also increased more than 20%. Changsha and Chengdu, the capital cities of Hunan and Sichuan province, are so-called influencer cities, which indicates that places that often mentioned on short video platforms such as Little Red Book and TikTok in China. This destination's popularity is greatly boosted by influencers' posts for local food and famous tourist hotspots. Traditional popular tourist destinations, Beijing, Shanxi, Zhejiang, and Xinjiang, all recorded modest growth of 8% during June and July. Then came August. We know that domestic travel in China has been disrupted as of late. So what does the future hold? Looking at air tickets issued year to date for any future travel, we see the strongest dip in early August, due to the broadest outbreak since the first wave in Wuhan. The latest outbreak, linking to a cluster in Nanjing, where 9 airport workers tested positive on 20th of July, has fast spread to 48 cities across the country by mid-August. During 26th of July and 15th of August, issued tickets declined sharply by 58.4% when comparing to the same period in 2019. However, we believe Chinese domestic travel would rebound quickly after the outbreak was brought under control. Because as you can see earlier this year, Lunar Chinese New Year travel was also badly affected by the outbreak of COVID, but came back quickly when all high and medium risk areas had been cleared in late February. Now the situation is also getting better. On 22nd of August, no new locally transmitted COVID cases were reported for the first time since July, although there were some fresh infections detected in Shanghai over this weekend, and flights in and out of Nanjing and Yangzhou remained suspended. And looking at travel in the upcoming holiday seasons, the outlook worsened by the current outbreak. The blue line here indicates year-on-year comparison of ticketing situation for travel between 1st of September and 15th of October, with all the tickets that have been issued as of 19th of July, so before the outbreak. The orange line is to forward-look future travel, with all tickets issued as of 17th of August, so after the recent outbreak. We can see from the graph that the outlook is getting worse. And to focus on Golden Week travel, as of mid-August, forward bookings for domestic travel are around 52% behind the same period in last year. However, when forward-looking the travel before the outbreak, there was a considerable strong domestic travel demand, with bookings ahead by 29%. So although travelers' holiday plan might be disrupted for now, we still see strong demand. And if the current outbreak is under control, we can expect a rebound in travel. This Monday, when asked about whether people can travel freely during Mid-Autumn and Golden Week this year, Dr. Zhang Boli is confident that the situation can be contained in the coming weeks and believe that people will be able to travel during these upcoming holidays if right measures are put in place. So as of 17th of August, bookings to Shanghai, Beijing, Chengdu, and Shenzhen are most advanced for Golden Week travel. Sanya ranks in 5th position, jumping from 9th last year. Urumqi also gains much popularity, ranking in 7th position this year. In the post-pandemic era, this unique experience created by natural scenery in the West China has been attractive a lot to Chinese travelers. On the other hand, Kunming becomes less popular. It is affected by the resurgence of COVID cases in Hunan province. So for Chinese domestic travel to Hainan, we know that the new duty-free policy has already took Hainan's tourism to a new height since last year. And regarding outbound travel, as China has maintained strict border controls, Macau is currently the only destination seeing the rebound in bookings for mainland Chinese travelers. So now let's zoom into these two destinations to look at their performance. First, let's take a look at Hainan. During June and July this year, both Haikou and Sanya in Hainan recorded growth in air arrivals when compared to the same period in 2019. Sanya performed better than Haikou, up by 30% in June and 42% in July, while Haikou grew 8% in June and 31% in July. To both destinations, the outlook has been badly affected by the latest outbreak. A COVID-19 infection was confirmed in Haikou in early August, and cross-provincial travel organized by travel agencies in 10 provinces, including Hainan, had been suspended from 5th of August. Forward-looking travel during August and October are around 50% behind 2019 same period, as of all the tickets issued as of 17th of August. However, on 19th of August, Hainan resumed cross-provincial group tours as well as other entertainment activities after the entire province is designated low-risk areas. So we still have enough time to see more travelers book tickets for Mid-Autumn and Golden Week travel in September and October. So what are the key source markets to Hainan? Looking back at this summer's situation, Beijing, Shanghai, and Hangzhou are top source markets. Sanya attracts more travelers from these two major cities, with arrival numbers more than doubled this summer from 2019. To both destinations, arrivals from Changsha remains the same in 2019, and Haikou captures the interest of travelers from Chengdu, while travelers from Chongqing prefer Sanya than Haikou. Then let's take a look at Macau. We can see that air travel from mainland China to Macau has been trending up since late February, when Macau lifted travel restrictions and reopened to mainland China on 23rd of February. Travelers are exempt from quarantine both when arriving in Macau and when traveling back home. During June and July, air arrivals recovered to 56% of pre-pandemic level, while outbound travel from China in general was down 95%. The recent outbreak in mainland China also disrupted travel to Macau. From 31st of July, travelers took a direct flight from mainland China to Macau must hold a test certificate within 48 hours. But encouragingly, no new cases have been reported in Macau since 3rd of August. And on 9th of August, the COVID test rule had been eased for Guangdong province to 7 days. And looking back to June and July's travel, we see that recovery of arrivals to Macau is in line with resume of flights. Among top 5 source markets to Macau, even more seats had been added from Chengdu when compared to the same period in 2019. Flight capacity from other source markets, Shanghai, Beijing, and Hangzhou, all recovered more than 60% of pre-pandemic level, while air arrivals from Xiamen only recovered 48%. It might be because travel time by railway between Xiamen and Shenzhen has been reduced to only 2.5 hours since April this year, so people could easily travel from Xiamen to Shenzhen first by train and then just cross border to Macau. Finally, let's take a look at passengers' profiles. For arrivals in Macau, we see that people tend to stay longer. During June and July, the share of passengers staying at Macau for 3 to 5 nights increased significantly by 36% points when compared to 2019. Meanwhile, there was a drop of 38 percentage points in 1 to 2 night stays. Before the pandemic, Macau was usually a combined holiday destination, matched up with a few days in Hong Kong. But now, due to safety concerns and travel restrictions, people tend to explore just a single destination at a slower pace. For visitors in Hainan, solo travelers account for 20%. Passengers who travel in pairs represent 21%. These two categories have increased about 50% when compared to normal times. And family size of 3 to 5 passengers has the largest share, about 30%, but grew slower by around 20% this summer. And we have been talking a lot about shorter lead time for Chinese domestic travel. So during this summer, 57% of Chinese domestic flight tickets are issued just 4 days before the flight, increasing 7% points in normal times. People tend to book more last minute because of the uncertainty of the COVID-19, while the more flexible ticket cancellation policies have made people more confident to book this way. As for the latest outbreak, on 3rd of August, China's Civil Aviation Authority has ordered domestic airlines and their agents to offer free ticket refunds for flights until the end of month. So 3 takeaways before I hand the floor over. First, the Chinese domestic aviation markets has been volatile. We can see from several setbacks that this volatility has been driven in one direction by strong demand to travel, and in the other by resurgence of COVID-19 and the imposition of travel restrictions. Second, we have noticed a key trend in booking behavior in the pandemic era, that Chinese travelers are increasingly booking last minute for domestic travel. So considering short lead time and pent-up demand, it's very likely that we can see the rebound in travel for the upcoming Mid-Autumn and Golden Week if the current outbreak is under control. And finally, we believe having the right data can help us to act quickly on key business decisions as they arise. And yeah, this is my part of presentation today for Chinese domestic travel trend. And thanks for your attention. Now let's welcome Mr. Wang Meng to share some insights on Chinese shoppers this summer.
Ladies and gentlemen, greeting from Beijing. I'm Miko from Jessica's Secret. I hope everything goes well with your families and work in the time of the pandemic. It's a great honor to be here and to organize this event with ForwardKeys, sharing some of data from Chinese travel retail industry. Next page, please. Okay. First, please allow me to introduce my company. Many of you might have already known a bit about Jessica's Secret application, but not much about other sectors of my company. Over the past few years, the pandemic has had a huge impact on us, and as a result, we underwent a huge transformation and strategic change. As for now, Jessica's Secret has 230 million users. The majority of which are Chinese travelers, including those who went overseas before the pandemic and travelers who travel to Hainan. 2.3 million. Sorry. Other than that, we have developed the pricing monitoring system, AI tracking, based on our own price data system. This AI tracking is software that showcases a huge amount of data. For instance, users can present it with the real-time price of different retailers of the same product and the price with the promotions. We see all the promotional strategies of different retailers, which brand and which products are participating in these strategies. We also see promotions of different brands all over the world. Actually, for many of the brands, and retailers are already using our AI tracking system and with our data. Some retailers have already started API integration. In the meantime, we are providing IT outsourcing service to many retailers and brands, including many Chinese e-commerce websites for their development and operations, just like Kim Power. We also offer brands detailed campaign page development, including the Beam Suntory brand page in CDFG membership. In addition, in China, there are not many professional organizations in the travel retail industry. Because of our exclusive data and the deep understanding of the industry, there are already some brands and retailers who have handed over some industry research projects to our company, such as consumer behavior profile, researching and analysis of Daigou, search on the influx of Korea duty-free goods into mainland China, and so on. We are also collaborating with the China Ministry of Commerce in the travel retail platform named TR Outlook. The COVID-19 has hugely affected the tourism industry, but Jessica precisely target users which allow us to undergo a transformation in the past pandemic age. We carried out some products in the domestic duty-free industry in China, helping domestic retailers with their promotions. At present, among several platforms, we are the first leading traffic. Before the epidemic, our company also performed quite well overseas. For example, in the online channel of Kim Power in Thailand and Average in Taiwan, we are the number one of traffic leads. Our performance in Japan has also risen rapidly. Our app won Multi-Davi 2019 Best Application, and our company has been the service provider of LVMH, Richmond, CDFG, and Kim Power Group, and so on. About myself, I have been the guest speaker of TFWA and Multi-Davi and Puerto Rico speech in 2019. I'm also a guest speaker of expert for Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, CICC, HSBC, and so on. I advise them on the duty-free industry. Next page, please. Okay, next I will share some of our company data. Our company cooperates with the Multi-Davi and publish Jessica Security Index on monthly basis. The ranking list are entirely derived from the statistics of user clicks. We assume that the user is interested in the product when they click and see the details. Although some brands will put advertisement on Jessica Secret application, we generally exclude the facts such as advertisement and the operational recommendations when counting this clicks rate backstage. So our data are quite trustworthy. As you know, only those Chinese consumers travel overseas with the need to purchase duty-free goods need our application. That means that one attribute of Jessica Secret is that our users are precisely targeted consumers. Our data truly reflect the needs of users, since the data that we provide do not include the instance when the products are sold out or not on display. Next, I will divide the categories in this path: skincare, makeup, perfume, bags, accessories, liquor, and candy. Next page, please. From a macro perspective, since the emergence of the COVID-19 in January last year, the focus of consumption has shifted. First, like looted high-end luxury goods, bags have a significant increase in the relative click-through rate in our database. We can learn from this. On this one hand, the current luxury category of the Hainan duty-free industry is relatively insufficient. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes, Dior, and other brands have not officially entered the Hainan duty-free system. On the other hand, although China has approved cross-border e-commerce and opened the purchase of overseas products, there is a limitation of 5,000 yuan for each purchase, and this blocked a lot of high-end luxury goods from entering China through these e-commerce platforms. Now, since either Hainan now an online e-commerce platform fully meets the needs of Chinese consumers, the price of the luxury goods has always been the focus on many Chinese consumers' inquiries. But since Hainan and the cross-border e-commerce can almost meet the entire needs of P&C for Chinese consumers, this part only declined relatively. Next page, please. Let's take a look at this page. This page mainly describes the change in the P&C classification. The skincare and the perfume classifications are relatively stable, but since the COVID-19, the popularity of the domestic has declined sharply. Indeed, Louis Vuitton has been top of our list of long time, but this does change only when Apple release new products in the September each year. The new product launch affects the list that month, and the Apple will briefly rank first. We also did a calculation on the click rate of each brand. As mentioned before, high-end products has always been the interest of Jessica's Secret users. Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Gucci and Cartier obviously rank ahead. Popular products has received the most attention, followed by the product with the bigger cross-border price differences. As a comparison, products with low unit price receive relatively less attention. Let's take a look at the more detailed look at the ranking of the industry. First, skincare in the ranking first. In the ranking list of August that we just put together, from the overall brand click rate, La Mer, Estée Lauder, SK2, Lancome. Sorry, next page, please. La Mer, Estée Lauder, SK2, Lancome, and Kiehl's did pretty well. La Mer, the treatment location. Sorry, next page, please. The SK2 facial treatment essence, clearance, double serum, complete age control, and so on, have been ranked at the top for quite a long time. We see the rankings of the skincare products stay relatively stable. We can see that the effect of skincare products and their long-term reputation are the keys of their ranks. The best effect of the skincare products has the more favor they get from the consumer. Okay, some time delay. Okay, as the perfume, from the perspective of the attracting consumers' attention, Chanel, Jo Malone, Dior, Hermes, and Tom Ford have attracted more attention. In terms of the individual products, Jo Malone's perfume has always been ranked first in recent months. Among the top few on the list, it's worth mentioning the brand Byredo. When I talked about the brand with friends from ForwardKeys a few days ago, they still have not heard about it at all. But the fact is Byredo start to top our ranking list a few months ago. We actually went and checked and confirmed that this perfume have been mentioned a lot on social media in China. You see, this is how we find out about the facts through statistics and the numbers. Now, some duty-free retailers in Hainan have also purchased this brand, and it said that the sales are pretty good. In addition, we discovered that LVMH's I don't know the water of Palma, which have two to three SKUs that have been rising rapidly. Later, we confirmed with the brand that they approached the Chinese KOL Li Jiaqi for promotion and seeing the ranking change. And here actually reflect the success of this promotion. The ranking rise. So this our Jessica Secret Index can tell us. Next page, please. In terms of makeup, the ranking have been changing most frequently. Very often, classic style products stay on the top of the list. And when there is an introduction of new color, the ranking change. We see this as Chinese consumers' preference for new colors. Plus, this ranking change because many KOLs are constantly promoting the new products. Regarding the classification of bags, Louis Vuitton has always been the focus of attention of Jessica users. Relatively speaking, the consumers' interest bags have not changed. Classic bags of various branded tend to occupy the top of the rankings of a long time. We assume that these classic bags may be highly distinctive and easy to recognize by people around them. Okay, next page. With regard to accessories, classic products have long occupied the first place in our rankings. Recently, the rankings of Van Cleef and Apples have increased. We have also analyzed the reason, and is that Van Cleef and Apples has just entered Sanya, CDFG, Hainan, and Haikou Mall. One of the classic models is called four-leaf clover by Chinese tourists, and the price is also of great interest to many tourists. Take an overlook at the list. Cartier, Van Cleef, Apples, Bulgari, and Tiffany have absolutely advantages over other brands. Okay, next page. Okay, in the watch east, from my daily life experience, there are the mid to high end watches that Chinese consumers are most interested in, such as Cartier Balloon Blue, which Chinese tourists often call the blue balloon, and the relaxed oyster green, we Chinese call it the green water house 绿水鬼 in China. The sale price of the green water house in the Chinese market is more than $10,000 US, but the transaction price on the black market has reached more than $20,000 US. Yet they are hard to find. And of course, Chinese consumer will give some interesting names to some watches, such as the 10th rank Rock Daytona, which we've always called Panda D, named the China Shumao D. The black market price is also 12th, the actual price. About the liquor list, Moutai has always been the most favorite of Chinese consumers. Like a Rolex, the price of Moutai has basically reached. Next page, please. The price of Moutai has basically reached $450 in the black market in China, doubling the normal price. Of course, the major brands, liquor page. Of course, the major brands sold in the duty-free channels, such as Hainan and Macau series, are also very popular with the Chinese tourists, especially from our database. Consumers living in southern China, such as Guangdong and Fujian province, are very fond of the imported liquors. It's also worth mentioning that Japanese whiskeys such as Hibiki, Yamazaki, and other Japanese whiskeys also appear in our list quite often. Okay, next page. Here comes to the candy list. Ferrero, Godiva, and Lindt are more popular products. In the past few days, consumers paid more attention to Godiva, Ferrero, and Lindt, and the reason is the celebration of Chinese Valentine's Day. In Chinese, we call it Qixi. During the period, many young people see chocolate as a gift for Valentine's Day. Okay, next page. Finally, I will provide a summary and some suggestions in our digital secret. High-end classic products are more popular in our application, and they are also been the focus of the Chinese travel market for a long time. Second, the products requires long-term efforts, need long-term efforts of the brand to build reputation, such as skincare products, bags, accessories, and liquors. For other like makeup, perfume, marketing plays a big role. In addition, the Chinese market is changing rapidly, and we need to constantly update data and information so that we can better understand the Chinese consumers. With regard to the marketing, we should be patient and prepare for long-term marketing to influence Chinese consumers and gradually build the reputation. Here, I want to talk about a story from one of my consulting cases we have done. One client from a well-known brand asked us how to do a good job in marketing in Hainan. The advice we gave is that targeting Chinese consumer means targeting mainland consumer. You cannot just focus on tourists in Hainan. Whether it is investing in marketing or building reputation, and one cannot rely on one or two marketing cases. This is indeed a long-term process. Okay, that's all for today. And next page, please. And everyone can see my my mail and how to find me. And you can also find me in LinkedIn. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mirko, for your presentation today. And Nancy, also thank you for sharing the latest flight ticketing data from ForwardKeys. We hope you all enjoyed today's presentation. By seeing me on the screen, it's a sign that we've come to an end. And should you have any additional questions or would like to see the full presentation or receive the full presentation, please email us at webinar@forwardkeys.com. And if you want to always stay on top of all the things that are happening in these turbulent times, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our monthly newsletter by visiting www.forwardkeys.com. Thank you all and stay tuned for the next future webinar from ForwardKeys. Bye-bye.